Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings, and today changes everything. Of course, I'm talking about the latest situation that just unfolded with Alex Jones and InfoWars, and for the sake of full transparency and honesty, you have to know that this is someone that I have previously worked with, have personally known for a very long time, all the way back since 2004, 2005, and because of professional differences with how he was running his operation, along with private events and personal differences that unfolded between me and him in 2010, 2011, we decided never to speak to each other ever again, and we haven't. And trust me when I say this, if there's anyone to really dislike the man, it's me. But I actually think it's more important to talk about issues at hand instead of personal drama between people. And regardless of all of that, what happened today to Alex Jones sets a very dangerous precedent with severe repercussions for both people on the left and the right. And that's why in this video, we're going to be talking about what happened to Alex Jones, why people support it, and why this is a very dangerous move. Now, before we start, just know that we are primarily supported by you and your donations on wearechange.org/donate. Also, don't forget to put your email on our email list that we don't currently use, but we'll have as a backup since we're most likely next on the chopping block. And also, don't forget to follow us on alternative social media platforms like steemit.com/@LukeWeAreChange, where our posts are put on the blockchain, which almost makes it virtually impossible to delete our work. Now, in short, what ultimately happened today was that a handful of government-connected, powerful monopoly tech companies decided to purge Alex Jones from their websites, removing them from their platform and deleting all the work that they have done before. This, of course, included Facebook, that suspended even the personal profile of Alex Jones and many of his Facebook pages that had millions of followers, with their main justification being hate speech. YouTube followed suit by deleting InfoWars' YouTube channel that had 2.4 million subscribers for allegedly violating the terms of services and community guidelines of YouTube. Apple also banned InfoWars on iTunes, ultimately saying that this was not permissible free speech, with even Pinterest and Spotify joining in and removing any pages associated with InfoWars. Now, even though I am critical of the content that InfoWars releases, what happened here is absolutely wrong. But not all people see it that way, with many people celebrating the news and even calling on Twitter to ban Alex Jones from using their platform. We even saw CNN host Brian Stelter mock InfoWars after they were banned by all these social media giants today. And overall, this was celebrated by many pundits out there, openly supporting the move like Sean King did, saying that these big social media companies are, quote, stepping up and did the right thing because InfoWars was, quote, spreading lies, hate, and violence. And yes, there is a lot of critical things that we could say about InfoWars, but this is the same Sean King that was just recently wrapped up in controversy after he falsely claimed a police officer raped and kidnapped a black woman whose claims were proven absolutely false after video footage was released of the entire incident. Another major proponent that was lobbying to ban InfoWars on social media for a very long time now has also been the CNN News Network. You know, the news network that openly talked about a black hole swallowing an airplane, a network that regurgitates military-industrial complex propaganda and helped lead us into a war based on lies without doing any basic act of journalism, and ultimately just panders around as a PR organization for the very rich. Yeah, that CNN was basically saying that we need to get rid of Alex Jones because of, quote, fake news, and that it is a moral obligation of social media to get rid of fake news. And of course, that is just one inconsistency and intellectual fallacy when it comes to this entire argument of people pushing for this, especially the people who are for this, who are making the arguments that this is a public utility that has a public responsibility to get rid of fake news, or that this is a private company that could do whatever they want. Those two ideas are very different. So ultimately, what I think we're seeing here, from my own personal opinion, is people begging their corporate overlords to be their masters of information. Because of this move, social media tech monopolies have only become more powerful and have gained more power over public life, and should terrify a lot of people since obviously a lot of this was done in collusion with each other. And as even Secular Talk pointed out on Twitter, he says, quote, they're Silicon Valley billionaires and they don't share your sensibilities. They're responding to establishment pressure. And right now, because of everything, we are seeing an expansion of not only corporate power, but an unaccountable state, which not only sees Alex Jones as the enemy and people right on the enemy, but also conclusively people on the left as well. That's why, as even Robbie Martin points out, that in 2016, when we had the fresh wave of fake news propaganda, dozens of anti-imperialist left websites were deemed Russian propaganda alongside with InfoWars. I think it's fair to say that we are living in a very corporatist system of governance here in the United States, a system that will protect their interests and profits at all costs. And if you think this expansion of power and censorship will stop mainly because of Alex Jones, you have something else coming. Even Tariq Nasheed, who has been the complete polar opposite of Alex Jones, said that we have to keep a close eye on this situation, since this could be used as a justification to arbitrarily ban dozens of black commentators from social media sites. Even WikiLeaks points out, yes, InfoWars has frequent nonsense, but is also a state power critic, and then asks the question, which publisher in the world with millions of subscribers is going to be wiped out next for cultural transgression? And that pathway, which we've been on for a while now, even with the censorship that we have to deal with, that expanded today, is a very scary one, since we're ultimately calling for powerful corporations to decide what society is allowed to hear or not hear. These are not just private companies, but larger institutions that have connections to the establishment and the government. Many governments, including the Chinese one, which Google is now working with, and help them censor the internet in China so people don't have access to the free flow of information, which inevitably has, is, and will expand here in the United States, and is being done so with the celebration of asshats who are calling for more of it. And regardless of my differences with Alex Jones, what happened today is wrong. That is my own personal opinion. If you think I'm wrong, let me know why in the comment section below of this video, which of course I will be answering in the first hour that this video is out. All the sources to this video will be in our Steemit post, which will be posted in the description of this video. So of course you could fact check everything yourself, and follow us on a decentralized blockchain platform that we can't be deleted on. Again, with all of this happening, we most likely won't be on this platform that much longer, but as long as we are, we're always going to continue to speak out. And that's only possible because of your viewership and your support, and that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more.